Okay, and that is approved unanimously. Okay, item 5, oral communication from the public. If you haven't already and you're liking to address the public, please fill out the blue speaker card. We have 2, and we have 2 different updates, one from the hospital, Corona Regional Medical Center, and one from the Chamber of Commerce. And whoever wants to go first can take the... We have Mr. Uffer.
Mark Uffer, Corona Regional Medical Center, members of the council, and Mayor Spiegel. As I spoke the last time, I promised you I'd come back and give you regular updates on how the hospital's doing and strategies and issues that we're facing. And it's been, I think this week was 7 months. It's my 7th month that I've been there. It seems like yesterday. Time flies when you're having fun. So since I was last here, we have 2 new members of the executive team. We've made some significant changes in the leadership. We have our Chief Nursing Officer, Doreen Dan, who's here with us tonight. Doreen came from St. Jude's and then subsequently Prime Healthcare. She's brought a new refreshing style to the nursing team, the nursing team. They are a team now. And very pleased to have her on board. We also have a Corona resident who's the new Chief Financial Officer, and his name's Fred Druitt. And Fred is, he's here, I think, 3 weeks now. Doreen's been here 13 weeks. So new team, very different style than in the past. Very open group of people, a group of people that works together. We laugh together, and we face the challenges that Corona Regional has together. And I think it'll pay huge dividends as we go forward. We've had a significant, complete change in culture. Contrary to what you may hear or may see by the vocal minority that go out and regularly assault the hospital and make negative comments about the hospital, things have changed. We've got a very responsive leadership team. Every day at 2 o'clock, we go out as a management team, not only the department directors, but the executive C-suite team, and we make rounds throughout the hospital. We visit every single patient, and we ask the patients, how is your stay? How's the food? Is your room clean? What's your pain level if you're on pain medications? Are you getting your pain medications? Have you seen your physician? And we're hoping that will improve our customer satisfaction. Every employee has gone through some level of service training, which requires them simple things like saying hello, good morning, good evening, how are you, what's up, how can I help you? They're required to meet and greet everyone they come in contact with, including their peers. We've had a number of town hall meetings over the last 7 months. We do them in the morning, we do them in the evening, we do them in the afternoons, we come in the middle of the night, and we meet with employees. And at first, they were reluctant to engage because they were angry and they were upset and they were disenchanted. But as we do more and more people come out of the woodwork and they actually engage and they actually talk. And it's helpful to us because we hear what their concerns are. We've created a nurturing environment for our employees, contrary to the vocal minority and what they want to say. I have an open door policy, and anybody who's ever spoken to my assistant, Robin Fullerton, will tell you that it's impossible to control my schedule. She'll make me a calendar, but I'm never on the calendar unless I have special events like tonight or this at noon today. But I have a parade of physicians and employees coming through there every day, to the point where it's sort of disruptive to her calendar, but it's the only way I can meet with the employees and the physicians and solve problems. And that includes members of the public. If you walk into my office at any time, any day, if that door's open, that means people come in. And it's just the way I've always done business. It works for me. We had a very successful National Nursing Week and National Hospital Week. Again, thank you to the city for the proclamation. It meant a lot to the nurses. It meant a lot to the employees. We had barbecues on all shifts at both campuses. We had a bowling tournament On, I think it was Tuesday night, we had 16 lanes at the bowling alley. The employees competed. They brought in ringers because they knew I was playing. I'm not sure, they must have thought I was a good bowler. But it worked out for them. I think the radiology department won. They brought in some guy that looked like he'd been on performance-enhancing medications because he was very large and threw the ball around 70 miles an hour, so he did well. We had one thing that we're very proud of since Doreen started and we've changed the management team, our registered nurse turnover has gone from 23% down to 17%. And just to give you an idea of how big the nursing staff is, you probably hear from 2 or 3 people at any one time, and that's why I call them the vocal minority. We have over 400 nurses at Corona. That's a lot of nurses, and until I see 300 or 400 of them in one spot complaining about the hospital, I'm going to take the day-to-day rounds and the input I get from them and believe that we're on the right track. We've also worked on collaborating with the medical staff. We've had physicians that have not worked at the hospital for many years come back, and they are starting to do more cases there. We have new practices that have started. We have new doctors in the community, and they're doing well, and we want to continue to grow that. We know that one of the challenges we have is lack of providers. And we went through a period where we lost a lot of our staff, a lot of the nurses, and we know why we lost them. We know it was the environment. We know that it was the use of outside registry and travelers. We know that it was the closure of the pediatrics department. We know that there were some bad decisions that were made by leadership, and we've addressed those changes. We opened pediatrics in March. I think we had two kids this week. We have pediatric nurses that are now trained. We know that that was a big dissatisfier for members of the community. We know that it created the perception that if you don't have a pediatrics program, you won't even want to take your child to the emergency room at Corona because we don't take care of kids. Well, that's all been reversed. Our pediatricians are happy and our nurses are happy with that. Is it perfect? Nope. Got a lot of work to do. We're still at it. You know, we have this, again, over 400 nurses, 413 to be exact. And we get assailed, you know, by the union with claims that we're understaffed, that we don't have enough nurses to do the job. Well, what's happened is, as we've changed the way we've done business, we've been bombed, literally, with volume. Our emergency room saw 400 visits above what we budgeted just in the month of May. That's a lot of new business, and so the emergency room continues to see more and more people, and I'll talk to you just in a second about what the implication of that is, because that emergency room is a challenge for everyone. I want to talk a little bit about the physical plant. We know that it's a 1960s era building. It's my #1 goal, and I literally chew on this every day. There's not a moment that goes by, there's not a person from UHS that doesn't come to my office that doesn't hear the comment, if we don't do the building project, we will lose the market. And so I have been very active. I'm the fly in the ointment, and I think UHS knows it. I have a proposal on the table in front of UHS. I hope to be able to make an announcement in the next month. I was hoping to make an announcement last month, but it's a slow process. But it will address, I think, the concerns that the community has about the commitment that UHS has in the Corona market. It will also change the perception of Corona Regional Medical Center for the future. We know what we have to do to compete. I talked a little bit this afternoon at a meeting about what occurs in the market. We have what we call market pirates, essentially, in our industry, where people come in and they set up shop in your community. They have really no commitment to the residents, but what they do have is a commitment to taking business and moving it out of the market. And so we know that we have to step our game up to stop that from happening and make this a market where you can't come in and steal our patients. So we're working very hard on that.
We're going to have to wrap this up a little bit.
Okay, very good. So that I'll just I'll ask if you have any questions. I think we're on the right track, and if we're not, please tell me.
Any comments? Mr. Scott?
Yeah, you had indicated that you have submitted a request of corporate to move forward with the building building of the expansion and so forth. Now, I believe it was Pember when he was here, he guaranteed that that was going to take place. He said that repeatedly. Is there any deviation from that?
No.
Okay, because the way you phrased that, it sounded like maybe there was a deviation, that you're trying to make sure it goes through, you're hoping it goes through, but it's definitely going through.
Well, here's where it's at. Here's how it works in a big company like this. It's just no different than HCA. You know, it's a multi-million dollar project. And, you know, when you have a big company, they want to know what their return on the investment is going to be. They want to know, you know, what the plan is, how you hope to create the volume to put through there. It's just how big companies work. If you're in a healthcare company, nobody's going to write you a check for $50 million without asking a lot of questions. So I've put the proposal in. We have a conference call in the next 2 weeks to discuss it. And my request will be, once that approval is made, to have those people come out and stick shovels in the ground. So
it's not a definite.
nothing's definite.
No,
The only thing that's definite is death and taxes. I'm being real honest with you.
I believe, is he the president?
He is the president.
He specifically said that is a guarantee. It was going to happen.
Well, I haven't heard otherwise, so.
So it's not a definite then. In your mind,
What-
because otherwise you would just say, I have the proposal in, it's coming, I'm just waiting for them to approve it.
That's where I'm at. I'm waiting for them to approve it.
But you can't say definitively
Not tonight.
that what he said is still true.
Not tonight.
Okay, thank you.
There is the EIR that's now completed, so when you saying that the shovels in the dirt will actually be much quicker than the normal process, because still moving forward, you're still doing the back work on all this to get it prepared, correct?
Oh, yeah, I mean, the EIR, we've spent almost $4 million on this project. And there's all kinds of iterations to the project. When I came, I thought about, you know, renovation, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, I'm after a new building with towers, and that was the original project, and that's why we want to continue to move forward. I mean, I've heard nothing. I spoke to Alan Miller, who owns the company. Alan Miller was in the emergency room, and his comments, we have to change this, we have to fix this. My boss, Frank Lopez, has been nothing but supportive. But again, everything goes through the, you know, this is not the only project that UHS is, you know, there's a project in Henderson. They just finished the Temecula project. We're talking millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's still moving forward.
And I understand that, and the reason I bring it up here is to make sure it's on the record, because he was here, Mr. Nolan, when he was on council, attended the meeting, as did I, Mr. Robbins, and Mr. Talbert. There was no power in this building. We were meeting at a holiday. No power, no air conditioning, it was hot, but he repeatedly stated, I personally guarantee this. So again, I just want to make sure that's on the record, what he's saying. Be happy if you would just continue to share that with him, because that's what we're looking forward to.
You have no idea how much I press that guy.
Yeah.
Well,
Just let him know we're remembering.
No, and I've told him that. I've made it very clear to him. There's no question at UHS that they know how important this is to the community.
Right. And we made it clear at the last meeting when they were here with Mr. Miller and Ms. Pimper that Corona deserves better, and if you don't deliver, we will find another means. So I know that message to you. We've given that message to them. So I'm expecting a positive announcement in a month. And with that,
We've put that message in writing.
Yes.
That message is part of the business plan. So we know how important it is to all of you, and more important to the residents of Corona.
absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.